Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. One big happy family. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments, your loving support, always. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to mention, if the video is too fast for you on any of them, in the description box there's a link, 2-minute video, how to slow down the speed of the video, and also to turn your closed caption on. So the stitches I'm calling will be written down here. You can pause, read, and take notes. I don't write patterns. I get asked that a lot. For the most times, I use 2.75 hooks, depending upon the thread I'm using, 3.5, or the pattern that I want to create to go bigger or not. And that's what you should do. For people that have tight stitch, use a size of hook bigger or 2 size bigger. And for people that have a loose stitch, you should go a little bit 1 or 2 size smaller. So a small one to tuck in loose ends and a pair of scissors. I do have a private crochet group that you're more than welcome to join as long as you have a profile. Also follow me on my crochet page on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're stuck on any projects, you could always message me through there. I'd like to mention that a lot of you sometimes ask me about my threads. These are Portugal threads. I am in Europe. They're 4-ply, 100% cotton thread. And they sell, it's $12, making the exchange, $12, 100 grams, which are balls like this. Okay, it's about 300 to 325 yards. Minimum of order of 6 balls. Okay, so we're going to get started. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It's free of charge. You don't pay for that, and it helps us creators tremendously. And if you watch the video, and if you're not a creator or don't crochet, because I know some of you don't but love to watch my videos, please do give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And if there is short commercials, just watch the little small commercials. I don't want you to be wasting your time in 5-10 minute commercial, but it does help the channel again itself. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Thank you so much. And for the women that have been donating, for the women in need of thread, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for your tips also, thank you so much. And for the ones that are considering to do so to help the women in need of thread, please consider so. My PayPal account is in the description box also. If you want to give it through there, if you want to give it through the little thank you bag underneath the video, you can. The only difference is that YouTube takes 30% of that money that you're donating. Okay, let's get started, everyone. Okay, everyone. So a few days ago, you guys, for some of you, of course, that follow me, have seen that I had posted up on community the picture of this beautiful little flower, and the tutorial is up already. I love this flower for the fact that it's a 3D, obviously, but it's not that high, so it's just perfect. Okay, these are 8mm beads, pearls that you can add to it or don't add to it. It's up to you. I have 16 of them that I have built with the granny square sort of thing, because this will be added on to my pattern. Now, this pattern I'm going to create, it's similar to quite a few rugs and tablecloths that I have created in the past. Similar, that means the beginning is exactly the same way, and you'll see as I create the pattern, the center, it will be round, of course. This is perfect to be used either as a rug if you use thick thread, of course, and a centerpiece, or a cloth. You can increase on it as many rows as you want. I'll be doing a centerpiece with the white. These will be added on, and I will be using also for my edge some yellow. I wish I had orange, but I don't. So the yellow will be perfect because we have some yellow on here, and whatever color you're using for it. Now, like I mentioned, the centerpiece itself, there's many out there similar, exactly like I've created and I'm going to create. This specific pattern does not belong to me. because of the edging. The edging is completely different. It will take the crocodile stitch. A lot of you know what the crocodile stitch is, and some of you don't. And if you follow the tutorial, then you'll know. This is out of one of amazing creator herself, Vanessa Marcondes. She is just amazing, Brazilian, of course. She has created this in a rug a few years ago, and then she went ahead and created she created the rug, and someone else, I guess that she follows or follows her, have created the centerpiece. So, and that person modified the edging to her, of course, liking, to her own creation. And Vanessa absolutely loved, and I don't blame her because it's just absolutely stunning, decided to do the centerpiece herself and named it after the other person that did the adjustment with the edging around the centerpiece, which is stunning. So I will leave the link below to Vanessa's YouTube channel. You guys could always have a look at her stuff. We create a lot of things similar, if not alike. So, you know, props to her and to the other creator that I don't know who the other person is, but amazing. I absolutely love Vanessa. She's just down to earth, beautiful person, and does amazing work. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. And I'll probably name this Vanessa because it is Vanessa's creation, even if the other one modified a bit of the edge. Still, the idea was her and designed the whole rug that she did for the living room quite a few years back. I think 6-7 years back, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long time that I follow her, and I am subscribed to her channel, and absolutely adore her. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'll be using the white, like I said, 2.75 hook. Of course, if you're using into the rug, then you will need to go with a thicker thread, like let's say double up Aunt Lydia number 3. And you would have to use like a 6.0 hook. So 275 small one to tuck in loose ends, a pair of scissors, and I will link the tutorial to the flower below if you're interested to create this flower. If not, you can create any other flower you want as long as it has 8 loops in the back. It's got to have those 3 chain 8 loops or 4 chain 8 loops in order for you to create the granny square. So we can add as we go towards the end of this centerpiece. Okay, thank you so much. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps the channel. Sharing is caring also, and God bless. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is that magic circle. In case you can't, then you can do a 5 to 6 chain depending upon your stitch, your tension. If your tension is too tight, use a hook or 2 bigger. If it's too loose, use a hook or 2 smaller. So I did a chain just to secure that magic circle. I came back in with a single and 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. I'm going to do 15 more. We'll have a total of 16 double crochets. Okay, so this is row 1. I'll meet you at the end. I've done my 16 double crochets. That's including with that single and 2 chain at the beginning. I'm going to tighten my circle. We don't want a big hole here. And I'm going to close in on my 2nd chain from where I've started. I'm going to come back in and do a single in the same stitch. So I'm going to do another double crochet, and I'm most of the time start with single and 2 chain. Okay, on the next stitch, the next double crochet, we're going to add 2 together. So, and we're going to use back loops. Almost forgot that part. You can use front loops. I mean, both together if you'd like. This is just going to give it a nice little touch. So 2 double crochets in the same space, 2 chain space, next stitch using back loops, 1 double crochet. On the next one, 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So we're building these little groups of 3. Now we're always going to increase. Next row we'll have 4 double crochets. Always increase on the last double crochet, 2 together. 2 chain again into the next double crochet, into the next one, 2 double crochets in the same space. So creating those groups of 3, and most definitely I will have to do a part 2 video because there's a lot of details getting to the end of the centerpiece, and you have to be extremely attention to it, and I'm sure you're going to absolutely love it. Okay, everyone, so on this row 2, you're supposed to have 8 groups of 3 double crochet. I had mentioned that we're going to be having 4 double crochet in the next row. That's not true. We're having 5. The increase is by 2 double crochets, but anyway, so I'm going to do a half double crochet here on the second chain from where I went up, single and 2 chain, and I'm going to close it together because I want to start my third row here on the center. I'm going to come back in, I'm going to do a single and 2 chain. That's my first double crochet. I'm coming in the next double crochet with double crochet. So this is where my increase, and I'm grabbing back loops also. Okay, so we have 3 double crochet. That's already counting with the first one here. This is 4 and 1 inside of the 2 chain space. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do 2 chain, of course. I'm going to come back in and do another double crochet. So I can start the increase on my next one. I'm going to grab back loops only. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 inside of the 2 chain space. So we have 2, 4, and 5 double crochets, 2 chain. We proceed this way all the way around. I'm going to do this until I have 7 rows. That means 6 rows of the increase, and this would be the 7th. So it's just this. We're going to keep doing this all the way around. You just have to remember that when you get to the end, to do that half double crochet to end up on the center. And if you're not comfortable with it, then you can just close in with a slip stitch and do the walk like I usually mention on the videos. You can do the walk with a slip stitch until you get to the center and do your 1 double crochet. I think it's much easier to follow this way. So chain 2, come back inside and create your increase, 1 double crochet. So it's almost like we have a V in here. Grabbing back loops, 1, 2, 3. What the one we did here is 4 and 1 inside of the 2 chain space. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end again just to show you how I did the half double crochet. Okay, you guys, so pretty much finished my last group with the 5 double crochets. I'm going to do a half double crochet, okay, like that, and I'm right in the center again. So coming in with a single, 2 chain, that's my first double crochet, going into the first double crochet with double crochet. I'm grabbing back loops just to get that effect. I think it looks pretty nice, but like I mentioned, you can grab both loops if you'd like. And 1 inside of the 2 chain space. So now our increase is 2, 4, 6, 7. So that means the next row you should have 9. So I'm going to do until we have 7 rows, okay, and come back to you at the end of it, because now it's just a repeat, an increase inside of the 2 chain at the beginning and at the end. 2 chain space, another double crochet to do your increase, exactly how we've been doing on here. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of my rows. Okay, everyone, so I've done 7 rows, and on my 7 rows I have 13 double crochet. Okay, now it's going to change on the 8th row. So I'm going to come in again to close up and do my half double crochet. Going to come back in and create single 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. I'm going to come back in again. So where we have these 2 chain space, we're going to create a group of 3 double crochet. 1 chain. We're going to skip the first double crochet and come in the second. I'm going to grab back loops only. You can use both loops if you like. And on this row we should have now, because we're going to start to decrease on these motifs here, okay? So we don't do the first double crochet and we don't do the last. We should have 11 double crochets. So it's always going to be a repeat like this all the way around. There's no point of keep showing the same thing over and over. This is row 8, and hopefully my editing app doesn't chew any of my videos like it has on the last, or not the last one, not the flower one, but the other one before that. Okay, so we don't do the first double crochet and we don't do the last. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 1 chain coming inside of the 2 chain space and create those 3 double crochets again. We're going to repeat this all the way around. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so we've reached the end. We're going to close in again with a half double crochet so we can end up on the center. Now from here on, we're going to continue to decrease until we have 3 double crochet left at the next few rows. That means we always skip the first double crochet and the last. We're going to be building groups of 3 for the next few rows. So I'm coming back in with a single and 2 chain. We're going to repeat these rows like this until our motif has only 3 double crochets. So 3 double crochet group, 1 chain, always 1 chain space now between them. So our pattern can start closing in properly and building these groups. 1 chain, always skipping the first one, going into the second. We're going to repeat this for the next few rows to do the decrease. Oops, and I'm supposed to be grabbing back loops. But you can use front loops only, or not front loops, both loops if you'd like. So let's do that again. Yeah, I guess sometimes it's just a habit we have. And when we change a bit, we get confused, right? So we don't do the first double crochet and we don't do the last. Coming directly after my 1 chain and doing my group of 3 double crochets. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Next row we'll have 7. Next row we'll have 5. And then the row after that we have 3. I will come back to you when we have 3 double crochets left. Exactly how we started here at the beginning. So it keeps decreasing. Okay. So I'll meet you at the end when I have 3 double crochets left. Always 1 chain space between these groups of 3. Skipping always the first double crochet and the last one. 1 chain, skip the first one, go into your second. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, row 9. I'll meet you when I have 3 double crochets left on the motif. Okay, everyone, so as I mentioned, I'd come back where I have 3 double crochets left on the motifs, and everything else is groups of 3 in the 1 chain space with 1 chain space between them. I've closed in here with the half double crochet as we've been doing. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to do 1 chain space and come in with a slip stitch this time. By the way, we did row 12 going to row 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is row 12 where we have the 3 double crochets. I'm going to come back in, single and double crochet that, and 2 chain. That's my first double crochet. I'm going to still grab these back loops and do 1 double crochet per space in all of them, including in the 1 chain space. If you don't want to go in, you can go over. It's up to you. If you've been doing over, then it's best to go over. If you've been doing like this, then it would look nicer to have it in one in the back loops only. Okay, so 1 double crochet per stitch all the way around, coming in that 1 chain space, 1 double crochet. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. This is row 13. Okay, everyone, so now we're going, so I've done row 13. I should start by there, and I've cut in my thread. I'm going to come back in with the white, but we're starting to add the flowers on as we go. Now, I've done this technique already in a few other patterns of mine. Some of you know, instead of keep cutting, adding flowers and keep cutting the thread, we continue. So you're going to turn your pattern. By the way, I've already pressed my pattern and sprayed and stretched it out, so it can be stretched out already for the attachment of the flowers. So I'm going to do the shells, of course, on each corner, but this shell I'm only going to do, I'll complete it when I come around. So single 2 chain and 2 more double crochet. I'm only going to complete this shell, my corner, when I'm done with my row. 1 chain space. I'm coming in and doing 3 double crochets, 1 chain space into the next one, one chain, I'm on my second corner, I'm going to do 1 chain. Okay, we're going to use back with back, and I'm going to come in right in the center where I have this motive, this double crochet here. Okay, and I'm going to do a single. So 1 chain and single, that would represent like the 2 chains that normally we do on the shells, right? So I'm coming in, completing my 3 double crochet. I'm going to do 1 chain, I'm going to skip 1, 2 on the 3rd space. I'm doing a single and coming in to do my 3 double crochets. Okay, sorry, there is no chain space here. So once you create your shell, because the single is already a chain space, so we're going to skip 1, 2 into the 3rd and single. This is like doing that 1 chain space. Then coming into the front and create the 3 double crochets for the square. And again, skipping 1, 2 on the 3rd one. This is back with back. Coming in, complete again the other 3 double crochets. And again, 1, 2 on your 3rd one, single. And we're going to do the corner, which we're going to attach also. So we're doing the 3 double crochet, 1 chain, skip 1, 2 on the 3rd one, single. So that's like doing already the 2 chain for the shell, coming back in and doing the 3 double crochets, 1 chain, coming in, complete the side here, and we're going to attach the next flower when we get to the corner here of the shell. 1 chain space, 1 chain space again, and here we're only doing the 3 double crochets on this corner of the shell, because once we add all the flowers and we come around, this is how we're going to complete the next one. Okay, so we're going to do our pattern this way. So you're going to have I'm going to do 1 chain coming in and creating only 3 double crochets on this square. Also, we're only going to complete it when we come around to it. Okay, so basically we're not doing no chain space because we're coming in, and that would represent 1 chain space already, with a single coming into the next one, and create your 3 double crochets into the flower where we have that 1 chain space, and again single, come into the front flower and create your 3 double crochets. A lot of you have seen me create this attachment into the last space here and into the corner. So into the corner, 3 double crochet. I'm going to do a single inside of the other shell from the other square, and again a single on the same attachment we did the first square. Okay, coming back in, complete your shell, your corner, with 3 double crochet. Coming into the pattern again, we're going to skip 1, 2 on your third one, single into the front. Once you get the hang of it, you'll find it very easy to do. Skip again, 1, 2 into the third one. That's why it's important to create the flowers before, so you can attach them when you're ready to continue on. Okay, 1, 2 into the third one, coming into the shell, 1, 2, and 3. 1 chain. I'm going to skip 1, 2, doing my single, coming back in to complete the shell, 3 double crochet, 1 chain, create your 3 double crochets, 1 chain, and again. Don't forget, we're going to attach the third flower, so we're creating the fourth corner, only 3, the shell here, 3 double crochet only because we're attaching, and 1 chain. Coming in on the right side here and doing the 3 double crochets, and then coming directly into the back, into the first loop here, of 1 chain, single, into the next one. We'll complete those shells only when we come around and complete all of the squares in. So into the backward single, into the front. 1, 2, 3. Into the corner shell. Do your 3 double crochets. You're going to do your single in the 2 chain loop where we have the shell, and a single again where we've attached that flower. Come back, complete your 3 double crochet in the shell, that corner, 1 chain, 3 double crochets. So we're going to do this all the way around the same way with all the 16 flowers. If you need to slow down the video, in the link, in the description box, there's a link how to slow it down if you don't know how, or just rewind, pause, rewind, pause, and you take it from there. So I'm at the, oops, made a mistake. I have to add this on here. I get so distracted when I'm talking. How fun is that, right? Okay, so we've created the shell. Skip 1, 2 on the 3rd one, then come to the front. That's what happens when I'm blah blah away. I lose concentration. And again. 1, 1, 2 on my 3rd one, and into the front and attach the flowers. One, 2 on my 3rd one, and into the corner. Create only the 3 double crochet. Then we're going to do 1 chain, 1, 2 on the 3rd one. Come back in, complete your shell, 1 chain, and then when you get to the 4th corner shell, which is coming up top, that's when you add your next flower. So basically, this is what it's going to look like all the way around with your flower. And when we're done, we're going to complete the granny square, the rest of the edging. Okay, so I'll meet you once I am done. If you need to rewind, go ahead, take your time with it, and you'll enjoy creating these beautiful pieces. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of mine. Okay, everyone, I'm on my last square. I'm at the corner. I'm going to do my 1 chain, and I'm going to skip 1, 2 on my 3rd one. Then I come back in and do my, so I'm completing my 3 double crochet. So I have 1, 2. I'm going to come in and I'm going to come in directly into that first space. And then continue to do your 3 double crochets, into the back and into the corner. Now, because this was the last one, we're not going to attach it on here. We'll only complete this one once we come around to it. We're going to continue to work from here on. So did my 3 double crochets, my 2 chain, and continue 3 double crochets. Now here on the edge, we're not doing 1 chain, we're doing 2 chain space. Continue to complete your square with 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and again 3 double crochet, 2 chain. We're going to complete that shell, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do 1 chain, and I'm coming in with single and coming in directly into the next shell. And this is how we're going to close it up. Okay, 2 chain and continue. So I'll show you one more time. We'll have to do this all the way around the same way. 3 double crochet, 2 chain space, and 3 more double crochet. We're getting into the shell. So 2 chain, coming into the shell, complete your 3 double crochets, 1 chain. I'm coming directly on my third one here. I'm going to grab both with single and directly into the next one. Okay, so simple as that. And of course, we will complete when we get to the edge. And that's what it looks like. Don't forget, once it's stretched out with spray and we're going to stretch it, it all falls into place. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end. I've done my 3 double crochets where we had that last one. I'm going to do a half double crochet, but I'm not going to close it yet. And I'm also going to come in the center of this next one here, pull my thread, and pull everything right through it. Okay, so that leaves me in the center basically on here. I'm going to go up 1, 2 chain with that almost like single, let's say that half that we did. I'm going to do another double crochet here, chain 2. I'm going to skip these 2 and come into the next one and create 2 double crochets in the same space. Mind to tell you that if you wanted to leave your pattern just like this, perfect. You can leave it just this way. You can block it, have it all nicely stretched out, and it makes a beautiful centerpiece as it is. Or you could have just closed with singles all the way around and you have one specific pattern done. You don't have to continue from here. Okay. 2 chain. I'm going to come on this first double crochet here. I'm building groups of 2 double crochet. I need 7 per square, per granny square, okay? So 2 chain, and I'm going to come in Going to come into the center and create 2 double crochets, chain 2. I'm going to come on this last one here and create 2 double crochet, 2 more chain. I'm going to come in the first one here, and it will be repeatedly like this all the way around. 2 chain, and then coming into the center here where I did my single. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll repeat the same thing, exactly what we done here. So chain 2, we had placed it on the last double crochet with 2 double crochets, and then you just see where you've placed the other one. This way you're sure not to make a mistake. You got to have those 7, that's including the middle one here. Okay, and then we went in, so we're here, and then we went in. So all you have to do is just a repeat, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so pretty much did my last 2 chain. I've closed in on that first double crochet that we came in. I'm going to cut my thread. We have to start working the crocodile stitching. So I'm going to cut this, and I'm just going to tuck it in through these loops here. We can't keep going with this thread because we need to do the crocodile stitch lying down in between these 2. The double crochets will be working in them. Okay, so we need to make things easier for us. And I'm just gonna tuck in as much as I can. So now I'm gonna cut this thread. Okay. And remembering what I told you, it's always 7 groups, of course, always adding with the same one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and that's the way it goes. I love this pattern. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is that slip stitch knot. Give it a bit of thread there. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to come in right through here and pull this right through it. So on the bottom, I'll show you once I pull my thread through it. Maybe if I can get it to. Okay, so we have the middle one, the middle group. We're not working on there. We're going to work on this one. I'm going to come through here and come out in the center. I'm going to pull my thread in through there and do a slip stitch like that. Okay. Now I'm going to work on this double crochet here. What are we going to do? We're going to turn a bit our pattern. Trying to get this little thread out of the way. We're going to come in between both double crochets of those groups and come out on the outside, right? We're going to work on that double crochet. Of course, my thread there from when I hooked. Okay, so we have the first double crochet sideways. We're going to do 5 total. We have to work on the side, so it's always best that you turn your pattern a bit to make sure don't get any other stitch except for the side stitch there. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so make sure you're not grabbing anything on the back or anything like that. We're working, let's say, on this double crochet. So we're doing it sideways. That's what we're doing here. Okay. Okay, we're going to do one chain stitch, and it's best that you keep turning your pattern when you're working these double crochets because we'll be working in them. Turn your pattern and bend it if you have to. And now we're working on this double crochet of the group, and we're going to do 5 double crochets. So I have 3, 4, and 5. So we have our first crocodile stitch. Okay, and then we're going to come directly into this first one here, and we're going from the bottom. Okay, so again, in between them, bring your thread over and do a single so it can be attached onto there. No chain space. Again, it's best that you turn, and we're going to work on the next group, which is this one here. So you would come in the center and out on the side. So we're working sideways and doing those 5 double crochets again. It's a bit of work and it's a little bit challenging, but once you get the hang of it, you're good to go. So we have to do this all the way around the same way, 2, 4, and 5. One chain. Turn your pattern. It always makes it easier. Now we're going to work on the next double crochet. Bend it if you have to. It helps to work that double crochet sideways, and do your 5 double crochets again. So 3, 4, and 5. So we have our second crocodile stitch. Coming into the next one, we're coming in from the bottom to the center and doing a single. And again, repeat everything, working on this first double crochet. So we have to go into the center and out on the side. Bend your pattern a bit. It's going to help you work it. Make sure you don't grab anything else but that double crochet. 2, 3, 4, and 5, if I can get to it, right? Also, my hands are stretched out. It's kind of hard for me to stitch at the same time. One chain space, and now we're going to work on this one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have our third crocodile stitch. Okay, again, coming in the center here on the next group. So we're always skipping a group, but what I mean skipping is by doing a single. Okay, and then into the next one again and work 5 double crochets, 1 chain, 5 double crochets, come inside of this one here from the bottom in, do your single, and this is how it's going to be all the way around. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've reached my last one. I'm going to pull the string. I'm going to come where we started with that first single. Remember the very first single? And I'm going to pull the string to the back. I'm going to cut my thread here. And I'm going to lock in my string. Trying to bring it down here. And I'm going to go right through the center of that loop, the thread that we just brought it to the back, and close it up well. And then just tuck in your thread back here, because we have to start again exactly what we did. The groups of 2, we're going to create again another row of groups of 2 double crochets. I'm just tucking in because we are going to cover these threads back here after. So on this next row, like I said, we need to create groups of 2 again, exactly how we did. So slip stitch knot. You can come behind any of them. So I'm just going to start anywhere. So where we have the double crochets groups, we're going to do exactly what we did. So I'm going to do a single and 2 chain. That's my first double crochet. And my second double crochet. Trying to find that thread. 2 chain space. Now right behind it where we have that single here, I mean, it's so easy to get on there and do 2 double crochet in the same space. So we're creating these groups all the way around, exactly how we did with the bottom one. Two chain space and 2 more double crochets in the same, oops, not the same. We have 1 double crochet and another double crochet. Okay, 2 chain, and where behind the crocodile stitch we have that single there, create your 2 double crochets. So very simple, nothing to it, just creating group over groups exactly how we had it done. And where we have the crocodile stitch, we have a single, we just create 2 double crochet and 2 chain space between them, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay. Okay, so now that we finished all the groups, we have to do the crocodile stitch this time in between the crocodile stitch. So what does that mean? That means after we've cut and tucked away our thread, we come in where we have that crocodile stitch in between and do our first single. Okay, because we need to work on the next one, the crocodile stitch. Okay, and then come directly into that double crochet, and we're going to repeat everything all over again. Trying to hide this little thread if I could. If I couldn't, then I would have done it at the end. Makes it a little bit harder when you're working in a tight area like this, especially working this side. I find it's a little bit hard, but you know, everything is possible. So I have 4 double crochets, creating my 5th, 1 chain. I'm so used to doing the 2 chain, and going into the next and creating 5 double crochets. 3, 4, and 5. So basically we're just repeating everything all over again. We're coming behind that one again where the crocodile is. Crocodile stitch, not the crocodile. Okay, so basically we're coming in between them now. We'll be creating in between them. Okay. And then again, going into the next group, doing the side 5 double crochets. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 chain, and now work on the next one, which makes it way much more easier, especially if you turn your pattern. Now if you wanted to go bigger, I'm only doing these 2 rows. If you wanted to go bigger, you could have continued to do more rows of this crocodile stitch. So coming in between, single. Okay, and this is pretty much what it looks like. So continue yours, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished. I'm going to come in where we first started. Slip stitch. Got my thread. Just tuck it in the back anywhere. So now we are going to be doing shells. So where we have the 2 chain, right behind the crocodile stitch, do a single, and 2 chain. I'm coming directly into the other 2 chain here, skipping the 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 more double crochet. Coming directly into the next 2 chain, 1 double crochet, skipping the 2 double crochets and doing the shell again. We're going to do this all the way around the same way, only working on the 2 chain. So this is what it looks like. So we started with single 2 chain, the shell in the 2 chain space directly into the other 2 chain space with double crochet. So it's always shell, double crochet, shell, double crochet, working only on the 2 chain. The same way all the way around. I'll meet you at the end.